everybody, Nina Soden here, and I am ready to talk about books. Now I know that it has been a bit since my last video, but as an author I took November off in terms of posting on my blog, and I did some of those that I had pre-done, but for my videos, I stopped doing those in November because I participated in NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, and I was focused and zoned, so I did not do a whole lot of reading. So if you want to check out the blog posts for the books that I did post about, I will include those links down below and you can check those out. I reviewed the Divergent series, which I had read many moons ago and did not go back and reread those, so I didn't do a video about that, a YouTube video about those. I may at a later date do that when I have more time and I can get back into the books again. All right, but this week I am ready to talk about The Slection by Kiera Cass. So I did not pick this book up and say, oh, I want to read that, although I do love the cover and I probably would have picked it up if I saw it at the store, but my daughter brought this home from school as a book that she needed to read. She is not a huge reader, does not get into books very well, very quickly, and I looked at the size of this book and thought, oh, she is going to need some motivation to get through this. And so we did it as a mother-daughter book club so that we could talk about the book as we each read into it. We discussed it together as we read. We read sometimes together, sometimes apart. So it was a really fun experience and it gave her the motivation to get through it. Now, for me, I really enjoyed this book. As girls, we grow up hearing about princesses and the Cinderella story. Well, this is a twist on your Cinderella story. So let me read the back to you. Oh, it's cut off. Let me read the inside to you. So for 35 girls, The Slection is the chance of a lifetime, the opportunity to escape the life laid out for them since birth, to be swept up in a world of glittering gowns and priceless jewels, to live in a palace and compete for the heart of gorgeous Prince Maxon. But for America Singer, being selected is a nightmare. It means turning her back on her secret love with Aspen, who is a caste below her, leaving her home to enter a fierce competition for a crown she doesn't want, living in a palace that is consistently threatened by violent rebel attacks. Then America meets Prince Maxon. Gradually, she starts to question all the plans she's made for herself and realizes that the life she always dreamed of may not compare to a future she never imagined. Okay, so again, it's kind of like that Cinderella story. The handsome prince falls in love with the poor girl who doesn't really have anything to give except her heart. All right, except she's already in love with somebody. And she's competing kind of in like a Bachelor, the TV show, the reality TV show, The Bachelor. She's kind of competing in that. They're airing on TV all of the stuff that these Slection girls are doing with the prince and how their transformation from living where they were in the caste they were to going up and living in the palace, and you get to see it all. And Kiera Cass does a beautiful job of laying that all out for us. Now, I expected it to be a dystopian, which I guess it kind of is, although the era that it's set in isn't really, it's not really described very in much detail. I was going to say very well, but that's not true. You do get a feel for it. There's just not a whole lot of detail there. So it is left up to the reader's imagination to really decide what this place looks like, how it feels, how it smells. And I love that personally, but I know there are a lot of readers that want that detail thrown into the words so that they don't have to come up with that on their own. But I do actually really like that aspect. So I think the cover is beautiful. I think the writing was really great. I love the twists that Kiera puts on the classics, the princess stories because she does bring it more modern day. We have the technology, the phones, we have, you know, the styles. It does have a very beautiful aspect to what she brings to the palace, but it also has a modern day feel, and yet dystopian in that the world is no longer what it is today that we experience. Society is based very, very strictly on this caste system that they have. So again, a great read. There's not a whole lot of sexual content. It's good for young readers. And it's written in a way that is easy to understand. She doesn't use a whole lot of descriptive or big words that young children or young readers aren't going to understand. So it's very fluid and it's easy to get into. And therefore, I think that it's a great young adult and middle grade book. I think if you've got a middle schooler in your house or a high schooler in your house that is young and likes these romantic stories, this is perfect. I do not typically go after the romantic side stories, but this one did capture me and I thought it was phenomenal. I think she did an excellent job with it. So if you would like to read my blog review on this, I will also include that link in the comments below. Don't forget to click subscribe up there or up there, I'm not sure which side, so that you never miss one of my videos. If you like this video, check out the rest. If you have read this book, I would love to know your comments, so comment below and let me know what you thought about the selection. I will absolutely be picking up the next book in this series and reading it and letting you know my thoughts on that, but I would love to know your thoughts as well. So if you've read this whole series, if you've read the first book, the second book, whatever, comment below and let me know what you thought of those. All right, everybody, have a great day. Happy reading, and I look forward to coming back and talking to you next week about the next book that I'm reading, which is not the second book in this series, but it is the fourth book in another series that I talked about earlier. So I won't let you know what that is just yet. I'm gonna keep you waiting, and hopefully I finish it by the time I have to do next week's post. All right, everybody, have a great day and happy holidays.